What's up, traders? I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. So I got a new series for you guys. I'm going to do a couple of times a week. I'm going to do a video with a crypto market update and the Forex market update. And this is going to be the first episode of the Forex market update. I'm going to take a look at 7 Forex pairs in today's episode. So yeah, let's just dive right into the charts. Alright, so the first one we are going to take a look at today is USDCAD. So we are seeing a... this is the wrong chart. I'm supposed to be on Oanda, but I'm not. Here's the chart on Oanda. So I actually did short the breakdown out of this range here. As you can see here, we first broke down out of this range here, this red box here. And with that, after that breakout, we started consolidating here. So if you zoom into the 4 hour here, you can see a pretty clean, actually it's more visible on the hourly here. You see a pretty clear breakdown out of range low here. You come up for a retest and straight down, right? This was when the US dollar started to weakening really fast, right? So we got this move and it's just continued down. I did try to get in a trade here where I tried to long a potential break in market structure. Obviously that did not happen, and we're seeing another breakdown out of this consolidation area below here. So just like we got up here, we're seeing something similar here, right? So what I'm thinking is we might get a repeat of this setup right here. So let's see if we can find a range on this one. So when looking for ranges, you want to find the the bottom of the impulsive move. So you use the bottom to the high of the bounce, right? So in this case, it would be this. We should use this high up here, right? And either probably like the low down here, I think does make sense. Let's extend it to the right and to the left, so you can pretty clearly see here on the hourly. Let's look in the 4 hour to see if it actually makes sense. And I do think that, yeah, I do like this range right here with range high up in this area, range EQ around this area here, right? And what we're now seeing is a breakdown of range low. We got an hourly. Actually, before starting this video, I was interested in longing a potential bearish retest out of these lows here, and I would have been filled very nicely on that if I took the trade. Let's look at the 15 minute. It does seem like it's we obviously had a pretty nice bearish retest of this area here, just like we had up here, right? We had a rounded retest and rounded retest for a move down, and I'm looking for something similar to this down here. But I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait for high time frame confirmation. I don't really like this. I don't like the fact that I don't like this that we're seeing right now. So if I'm going to short this move, I want to make sure that I'm not shorting, high time frame support. And it really does look like we have a very strong support area down here, right? So to long here would be to actually long a high time frame support, which is not a good idea. So what we're looking for a potential move down here, we're going to be looking at the breakout area here, right? And here's the breakout candle, right? So here's the breakout candle, and here's the last immediate high pre-breakout. So between this high and this high, we should have a pretty decent support, right? So let's see how that would look here. And you can kind of see that we are trading inside this support area now on the 4-hour. Got bought up pretty nicely from below here. And like if USDCAD is going to reverse up again, I do think it's very likely that we will see the reversal inside this area. Now I want to find the RLC here too. Let's add the Fibonacci tools here to see if we can find the RLC of this move. So I'm going to use the RLC with the 50% because I like, I recently started using the 50% Fibonacci too as confidence. And what do you know? We are right inside the RLC. So this support level down here is actually confluent with the 702. That's the midpoint of the RLC, so some nice confidence down at this support for a potential move higher. So the plan with these videos, these market updates, the plan is to have, do it simply and quickly and have it over with in like 10 to 15 minutes, because I know that you guys are pretty much probably, you guys are probably busy with your, maybe you have like a 9-to-5 job, maybe you're trading full time, maybe you're, you get family with kids and everything. It's obviously trading is time consuming. Trading is very hard. You need to spend a lot of time behind the chart. What I want to give you is quick and fast and easy updates on the pairs that I'm watching in Forex and crypto. So this video today might be a little bit longer than 15 minutes because I'm really seeing a lot of interesting stuff in the FX market right now. So looking at the daily, we have the 200 simple. I mean, there's so much confidence here. There's so much confidence with this level. You do not want to short such a strong support area. You want to long the RLC. The long RLC is for longing. And when you have the 200 simple right in the middle of the RLC, daily 200 simple, right in the middle, the daily 200 simple being this white line, I'm looking for reversal, right? Looking for a reversal. And just look at this. Look at this dump here. It's just, feels like shorting down here is, probably, I don't want to be a late shorter. I don't want to be stepped. I'm not gonna jump out on like I already shorted this move, right? So I'm good with the profits on that short. But what I'd like to see now is a bounce inside this area and move back inside this range. And inside this range, I would like to see bullish market structure on the 4-hour. I would like for price to create a rounded bottom here, and I would like to see price create higher lows and higher highs. That's a definition of uptrend, right? So I want to see a bullish break in market structure where the market structure turns from bearish, aka lower lows and lower highs, to a bullish market structure with higher lows and higher highs. That would look something like this, right? Move back into range, bounce up range low, reclaim range EQ, break out of range high, come down, retested. Now that's a reversal, right? Bearish market structure, bullish market structure. Rounded bottom, I would like to see this move at least up to the breakdown area and this area here. Could be a nice move, could be a nice move. Have to do more analysis when that actually happens. Right now the trend is down, but I don't want to be shorting this. I'm not going to be shorting this at high time frame support. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can see. Yeah, so never mind. Like, what do you want to find down here is maybe like bullish divergences on the RSI and MACD if you're using that kind of stuff. If you find like a daily bullish divergence on the RSI and MACD down here, that could be a good reason to long the RSI, right? I'm just gonna kind of a bit to see how it's looking good. All right, so that's USDCAD. I'm going to take a look at USDCAD, USDJPY, EURUSD, EURGPY, GBP. Man, it's just a lot of stuff to say. EURGBP, EURCAD, GBPUSD, and the Australian dollar versus the American dollar. All right, so if you're wondering why I'm looking down, I'm actually got a pen and paper note here where I've noted down all the interesting pairs that I wanted to take a look at in this video. Next up is USD Actually, you know what? I'm gonna add some alerts here. I want an alert below this wick in case price drops lower. I do really think that I do really like the wick on this one. I do really like that, and hopefully we can see price reclaim range low here. So I'm going to put an alert up here. You know what? I'm gonna put an alert above range EQ, because that's where I will become interested. Alright, so now let's take a look at USD/JPY. What are we seeing on this one? Well, we're seeing a strong move. Wrong one again, USD/JPY on Oanda. Alright, so let's remove the moving averages just to work cleaner chart. So let's remove that one for now and add a new one later. Alright, so what are we seeing here? Well, we're seeing pretty crazy move here, pretty insane move, to be honest. So what I want to do here is this pair has been very choppy lately. Well, not lately, but on a daily it's just a lot of chops, and I don't know, it doesn't really seem clear to me. But right now with this breakout here of this range high confluent with this red box resistance here, we saw a very nice move. So what I was looking for here was a retest of this level. Right, you have a very clear breakout here on the hourly. It hasn't tested this area, previous high pre-breakout, so it hasn't tested this area at all. It's a clean naked level. I would like to get in along here when we get the retrace. I would like to see a beautiful daily rounded retest like this, long this area, stop loss probably below this area somewhere, I don't know. Has to be decided when and if we actually come down there. Now, what we're seeing right now is we're taking out these highs up here. Actually, let's make this a zone. So we're gonna use the rectangle tool here. Is it a rectangle? Yes, it is a rectangle. So we're gonna use this tool. We are going to select the high here, the wick up here. We're gonna move this one to 320 and 200. There we go. Now this is a resistance area that we just broke above. Actually, that turns this into green as support, right? So everything below price is support, everything above price is resistance. Simple as that, right? Now we're gonna breakout on the daily. Are we going to see history repeat itself is the question here. Are we going to see a retest here like we didn't see here, or are we going to see price just deviate away from this level without touching the level, just like happened at the previous breakout down here? Now I'm not sure really what we're going to see here, but I'm going to go down into the 4 hour to see how price is looking, and we have a beautiful breakout on the 4 hour. Last high pre-breakout on the 4 hour is this area. Go down into the hourly. Beautiful. Now this I like. All right, this I like. If this uptrend is going to continue, you can kind of see how price likes to retest every level, every breakout level, right? And if you have a stop below the last swing low, you should be good, right? Now let's see. Here's a breakout area, right? This area here. You can see price coming down, testing this area here. Stop below this area would have been safe. Here's another breakout area, right? That one, you can see price coming down and testing it. Stop below this one or this one would have been safe, right? Another area here, breakout, come down, retest that area. Stop loss below that one would have been safe, right? So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for an entry here and a stop loss below that level. Now, being Friday, I'm not really sure I want to take a high time frame trade right now. I usually don't want to hold positions over the weekend. I want to enter on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and exit on Friday, unless I'm in great profits on a swing long or swing short. I'd like to hold those over the weekends, but I don't really like entering on a Friday. But I do like this area. Now, for higher confirmations, I would most likely want to have a 4-hour open and close above. Now that's in 3 hours and 50 minutes, but if I do get the 4-hour open and close, that would mean I have a good 4-hour confirmation of this breakout. For less confirmation, I can wait for an hourly open and close, and that means I would have to wait 50 minutes for that one. Now, where would we take profits on this move? Now, remember that there's a difference between these types of trades and, longing, longing this bounce for a move up here. This is more like a swing trade position. This one is more like an intraday trade or a more, scalpish long or whatever. I'm when taking trades like these on a lower time frames, like under the 4-hour hourly, and I like to risk much smaller on these types. Like when buying the heavy support for a long move up like this, I'd like to risk anything between 1 and 5% on the trade, depending on the confluences between my indicators and price action techniques, right? But on a move like this, for an entry like that, I'd like to risk closer to like somewhere between 0.25% to about 1%. Mostly not above 0.5%, and that's just part of my risk management. The riskier trade is supposed to have lower risk, because they usually also have higher risk to reward ratios, right? So it kind of evens out, right? But you don't want to risk more on the riskier trades. You want to risk more on the obvious ones. Is this one obvious? Well, it's probably, I mean, it's not obvious, but it's nice. I like it, right? Now, take profits on this one. Now let's add the moving averages. Let's see, do we have any major moving averages above price? Yeah, we do have the 200 SMA on the weekly. Now let's add that. We're going to type it out like this. I'd like to add my moving averages on the chart with horizontal lines like this, 200 SMA weekly. When I got that on the chart, I will SMS, no SMA. When I got that on the chart, I will just remove the moving averages when I have everything of interest on there, daily, weekly, monthly. So yeah, we're actually seeing a potential full cross between the 21 EMA and the 55 EMA on the monthly. That's pretty bullish. Obviously, we're not getting that right now. We might have to wait a month or two for that. I mean, it's like this. Obviously, in a pretty clear monthly downtrend, right? If we break above this one, we'll create a higher high on the monthly and get lower lows. It's pretty crazy stuff, guys. Pretty crazy stuff. Might see a high time for reversal on this. So would be pretty nice to get in a move like this. Now, take profits on this one. This move would be the 200 simple on the weekly. Now that's not a good R, right? So you would most likely want to let this one run, right? But that's going to be your first trouble area most likely. So you enter here. Stop would probably, like the tight stop option is going to be below the wick of the breakout candle right here, somewhere in that region. And take profit would be up here. So that's a 1.59 R. I usually don't like to take sub 2 R trades really. So let's see if if it makes sense to actually hold this one for higher prices. And like, look in the daily here. Actually, let's look at the weekly. Yeah, so I mean, we have this area up here. Likely scenario that we will test that area, especially if we break above the 200 simple on the weekly. So we're gonna add a resistance area up here. Got that one. And this one I like. That should be good. So with this level up here, let's say you take some profits at the 200 simple and some profits up here, it's going to be a +2R trade, right? So that's interesting for sure. And we might get a pump straight up to the 200 simple on the weekly, reaction, and move down to fill our orders down here. Now, tight, the stop on this one is indeed very tight, right? And I do probably think this area down here is the better level to have your stop loss, but I do really like the fact that if this is really bullish, we shouldn't go below this area. Now it's a very tight stop, I know that, but I'd like to have, when trading these low time frame setups, I like to have my stops below the thrust candle, which is this one, right? But this is also, it kind of makes more sense to have it here, to be honest. That's something I'm looking at right now. I do like this setup, to be honest. As I said, low risk on these, and keep some with a trailing stop in case we actually move higher. That's what I'm watching on USD JPY. Now we're going to take a look at the Euro USD. Now this is obviously going to be a long video, but hopefully you guys will stick with me. And yeah, so what the fuck is going on here? Daily, we moved up and touched the weekly 200 SMA here that I got marked out. We got reacted by that one, and we came down and tested the resistance at support right now. So it kind of looks like this is support, obviously, and if we bounce here and we continue, we take out these highs, we're probably going to see continuation for Euro USD. But it's just crazy, guys. I mean, it feels like this move has to end somewhere, right? And what I'm looking for on Euro USD is when this starts to turn around, I'm looking for a move all the way down here to the breakout level. Also a untested area on 4 hour, the hourly, and even the daily, obviously. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a reversal pattern here, like a high here, maybe a low here, lower high, lower low, and I would enter at confirmation of a break in market structure on Euro USD. So I'm gonna add, actually I'm gonna go back to the USD JPY quick and add some alerts. I wish Oanda was first, because so I'm gonna add some alerts on this one. I will, right, so let's see. I want to have an alert if price comes below this level, and I want an alert if price touches the 200 simple. Actually, what? Let's see which one. Never mind. Never mind. Let's just add an alert. That's good. All right, so let's go back to EURUSD. And yeah, we touched the 200 EMA perfectly up here too. So yeah, we're getting a pretty, this is what I'm expecting here. I'm expecting this general area up here to hold as resistance. It's a very strong resistance area. It's been in play all the way back from 2015, right? I do think that this is going to act as resistance, right? And what I'm looking for is a potential move all the way back down to breakout level between either this green box here or this red box down here. complement with the weekly 55 EMA and the weekly 21 EMA. That's what I'm looking at, guys. I'm looking for a short on EURUSD, but I'm gonna wait for high time frame confirmation first. Because it's very likely that this is just another higher low and this is just another higher high. I'm waiting for lower lows and lower highs. All right, so that's Euro USD. I'm setting an alert on this one below down here and above here. Perfect. Euro USD. Now we're gonna take a look at Euro GBP. Very strong dump on this one. A couple of setups that I showed you guys in another video. I'm gonna remove those two because they're not active right now. I'm gonna be quick here because I don't really have a lot of time left. So, what are we seeing on a daily here? Well, we're seeing the daily market structure is holding. The daily 21 EMA, this yellow one, is actually holding, so it's looking quite good. The weekly moving averages, how's the weekly moving average looking? Not really interested in those one. The 4-hour, and not really giving you much, but the daily 21 EMA is very interesting here. It's holding the daily 21 EMA. Losing this one would spell trouble for EURGBP. So Euro GBP, we're back at range low. Range being, let's see if we can proper. Let's see if we're just gonna use the high and the low here. See how that looks. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. I like, you know what? Never mind. I don't really like this range at all. I prefer just looking at this area with just horizontal support and resistance. So what we got here is a potential break in market structure, and I don't really see, like, there's no obvious levels on this one. I mean, we do have the breakout area here. Now, how's the breakout area looking? It's been tested. There's no, like, for me personally, there's no obvious trade right here. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't see a obvious trade on this one, and when there's no obvious trades, I'm just gonna not gonna take a trade. So let's move on, and we're going to take a look at EURCAD, the euro dollar, the euro, the European, the euro, the euro versus the dollaros. Trading in this the high time frame range here. We are getting rejected by range GQ. So if you guys remember from my last video, I did look for a reclaim of range GQ for a move here, but what you want to see is a rounded retest, right? What we're seeing right now is a move back down to the lows, and if you look at the daily, the lows and the range GQ has both been tested quite a lot, but the lows has really been tested a lot here, right? So the moving averages here, weekly. So yeah, we got the weekly 21 EMA here nicely. I mean, if we, if we break down from this range, I do like this area below here. So if you're looking on the lower time frames here, a breakdown of this range should take us down to this level down here. So how would that trade look like? Well, something like this, right? Wait for the breakout, the breakdown. Like this. Your stop, I don't know where your stop should be. Probably around this area, right? It depends on how price action looks, right? But something like this is what I'm looking at, right? So you want to see a breakdown along the bearish retest for a move down into this area. Now the stop loss needs to be at an invalidation level, obviously, and I kind of like, you know, above these wicks here, right? Above this wick here, and above these highs here. Kind of like if price comes above that area, comes back into range, they would most likely be invalidated, right? That's something I'm watching on EURCAD. Now let's go and take a look at GBPUSD. A lot of pairs today, a lot of pairs. GBPUSD. And beautiful breakout, beautiful breakout. Did we get a retest? Let's look at the hourly. Well, we kind of did get a retest here, right? But it's right on resistance, so like you don't want to buy right into resistance. What I'm more interested in here is a possible retest of this nice little last low, last high pre-break, like this one. That's an area I would be looking at for a potential long. Stop loss would go somewhere in that region. Looks pretty good to me. Now let's look at the higher time frames. How's this area looking? Well, I quite like this level up here, and I do like this level up in here. So let's see, how would that trade look like? Is it a acceptable R to the first trouble area? If you just put on along here, or you can average in. So let's see, below that low here, or a move up here. Well, that's 1.2, so that's not a good long, that's not a good R at all. What are you looking for here is, yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about this one. We have too much resistance above, too close to the price. So let's see if we can adjust. I mean, the obvious stop loss level is this one. If you look at the lower time frames to get in a, maybe getting a you know, scalp long here, you could put your stop below that area, or even below the 1 hour thrust candle, which is this one, right? So you might enter on this area here, the last immediate high. Stop loss would be below the hourly thrust candle, which is this one, and take profit would be, there's a 2.2 R up here and a 2 R up here. Now this is obviously a way more riskier trade. I would use very low risk on this one, but it's interesting nonetheless. Let's see what happens if you put your stop loss down here. Yeah, it's I'm probably not gonna take this trade because it's not, like I said, it's not an obvious trade. I'm probably not even gonna take a trade today because it's Friday and I don't want to, you know, enter in trades on, you know, this late on Friday. I want to take, you know, maybe take the day off, enjoy the day with the family, and, you know, spend the weekend with the family, and just, you know, gather new energy for another trading week next week. So that's GBPUSD. Now let's take a look at the Australian dollar versus the US dollar. You know what? Sorry guys, I don't really have time to take a look at that one tonight. My son, today my son just woke up and of him. So I'm gonna wrap things up, and I gotta say a huge thank you for a huge thank you to all my new subscribers and my new followers. Really means the world to me that you guys are engaging in my videos, and you like the stuff that I'm doing. And if you like these types of markets update, please comment in the description below, and leave a comment. And thanks guys, see you next time.